Welcome back, GSP. So long, Brock Lesnar, who's going to remain in WWE.
You know, I need to say something about it because I went on Twitter when I read this. You know, it was in the Rolling Stones magazine. He wrote it, and I go like, "Wow, I never expected that." And you know what the response from my fans was, from the people who follow me on Twitter?
What are you talking about right now?
Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar. They said, no, he just retired, so he's, exempted from the USADA.
Yes, he is.
And then, if he wants to come back, he just reapplies again. So, it doesn't mean that he is retired forever.
No, right now it is, let's go through the story of what's happened recently with, Brock Lesnar. Back June, 2007, Bill Goldberg, who was his life is unbelievable. Goldberg and Lesnar, the, battling in the WWE right now on Monday Night Raw weekly, and yet, 2007, Goldberg and I were on the commentary team for Lesnar's first MMA fight against Min Soo Kim at K1 Dynamite USA. Now, he, of course, moved on to the UFC, where the now 39-year-old became a UFC heavyweight champion on just his third fight for the promotion. Fourth fight as a pro. He beat Randy Couture in November 2008, defended the belt twice before losing it, remember, to Cain Velasquez in October 2010. And then he lost to Alistair Overeem in December of 2011. And then he went away because the diverticulitis almost killed him. Mm-hmm. And again, you wonder just how dangerous and how good he would have been without it during that run. He went away, but again, like we're seeing with GSP and Fedor, he came back in 2016 for the big money fight, got it against Mark Hunt, defeated Hunt, but then tested positive. Not one for once, but two things. So he failed the 2 doping tests after a 4.5-year MMA absence. He was suspended from competition for a year by the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, which, of course, administers the UFC's doping policy. Now, his decision to retire means that, yes, he has been removed from USADA's drug testing pool, which monitors all the fighters year-round. If he comes back, boss, he would have to serve the remaining 5 months of his suspension and, of course, like you say, go back into the pool. I don't think he's coming back.
Okay.
All right? I don't. Again, I never say never, but he's a guy that's been very good with his money. He's making a lot of money with WWE, and again, almost 40 years old. And let's not forget, I'm talking to a UFC Hall of Famer who was one of the baddest asses on the planet. Buddy, what you guys do for a living is not easy.
It's not, and the payback is a beat, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, now, all the little pains and things.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And so, I think we have seen the last of Brock Lesnar in an MMA arena. We have not seen the last of Christian Justino, the Invicta FC featherweight champion, the former Chris Cyborg, who, of course, had also had issues in the past with PEDs. Well, she has been granted a retroactive therapeutic use exemption by the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, which clears the way for her shot at the Women's Featherweight Championship. USADA announced the decision last week on its website, which ended a 2-month period of uncertainty after Justino failed an out-of-competition drug test and faced an anti-doping violation that could have derailed her title hopes. Now, she was granted the exemption after a comprehensive review of her medical history involving spironolactone, which is a banned diuretic for which she tested positive. Now, she denied using PEDs, boss, and a representative said that she took the drug to combat the effects of a brutal weight cut that she undertook to fight Lena Landsberg, which was at the catchweight of 140 pounds in the UFC Fight Night 95 headliner. So now she's back, 145. Remember, they created the featherweight division. They wanted it to be the vehicle for her in Brooklyn. Instead, she turned down the fights, had the issues with the weight cut. We saw Holly Holm and Jermaine Durandamy go at it. We know what happened last weekend. We heard a lot about our assessment. Not a lot of people agreed with what we thought about the fight.
Well, it's more than 50% for me, but yeah, still.
Yeah, my timeline said we were nuts, and especially they said you. So no, not. I mean, you're right. I would hope. But most people did not think she won the fight.
No, but the fun part is this. You came back, right? Yep. And you, because you didn't have time yet, you heard the things, you saw some clips, and you thought Holm won.
Yeah.
So we turned the sound off, we both watched.
Yep.
I said Rondami won. And then you were like, I have no clue how they can actually give this to Holm.
I totally agree that Durandamy deserved the win, even with the point deduction, which we broke down. I thought, again, I don't want to get into it now because I can go listen to the show last week because we got to get cooking here. As much as we love doing this for the people, for free, by the way. We also have other high-paying gigs that we got to take care of, but we do love doing this. And but I got to say, now Durandamy saying that she's going to give Holly Holm a rematch because of the controversy with the shots after the bell. Holm is in fact appealing the UFC 208 loss due to the multiple blows that Durandamy landed after the rounds, which that's bad wording right there for the story.
Yep.
She didn't land. She landed one.
The other one
missed the other one.
The other one, you can actually see her pulling it to the left.
Yes.
You can actually see her redirecting her punch.
So Holm is asking the New York State Athletic Commission to review the referee's decision not to deduct points from Durandamy. Also, Derrick Brunson, and again, we talked about this last week, and I agree.
Yep. No, he's right.
He has a right to appeal the loss to Anderson Silva due to what he feels was bad judging. And we talk about Anderson Silva against GSP based on the fight against Brunson. If I'm GSP, I'm like, right now. Let's do it.
That's the easiest fight for him.
Let's do it.
Think so.
Still, the easiest, but still huge money.
Huge money, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
we no. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I'm just hoping that that he hears from so many people, Anderson Silva, that he has to burst more of those. When he's genius, and I want to see that. Do it 6 times around.
Again, I'm going to bring up Adrian Broner. That's the same thing. When you are that good, and Broner, of course, much younger than Silva, and that's why I think okay, case of 2 different people. Silva, I don't think Silva can do it more than he does right now anymore.
Yeah, that's possible.
I'm sure. And again, who far be it from me to criticize who many people believe is the GOAT, but boss, injuries, age, doing it at the top level. Buddy, he went through wars in Pride before coming to the UFC where he dominated.
What about the World
Valley Judo, man? Are you kidding?
Bare knuckle.
I mean, it's
anything
nuts.
goes. Yeah, I know.
So, we may be asking too much, but again, because of GSP's hiatus, because GSP's always fought lower weight. Maybe now the table, it's evener, more even. We also had, of course, Fight Night 105. We talked a little bit about it. UFC making its debut in Halifax, in my home and native land of Canada. And really the only fight we're going to focus on is the main event, heavyweight battle. And the heavyweights did what the heavyweights do. Derrick Lewis, who went into the fight at 17-4 with 1 no contest, 8-2 in the octagon against Travis Browne, who was 18-5-1 with a 9-5-1 record of the UFC before they met. And, they, going into the fight, careers were going in opposite directions. And in the fight, what's happened in their career happened in the fight, because Lewis has now won 6 in a row, the longest active winning streak in the heavyweight division. Browne, who lost in September to Fabricio Verdum, a 2nd consecutive defeat, 4th in his last 6 outings. Well, you could make it 3 in a row now for Browne, who started off pretty well against Lewis in the first round.
I thought he was going to win this fight. I thought he was going to stay on the outside, exactly what he was doing in round number 1, connecting with the gut shots with his front kicks, which hurt him. Great low kicks. Then he went back to the body. What he didn't do, though, once he connected to the body, his focus was on the body. And what you need to do at that moment, the defense is to the body. Let's start hitting the head. Force your opponent to defend his head, and then the body automatically opens up, and you go for the body again. But he did great. Lewis tried to throw 2 from these crazy spinning back kicks. That didn't really work out. Round number 1, total domination, I would say, from Browne. But boy, round number 2, Lewis connects.
Round number 2, he had to take a number 2.
Dang. Oh, man. He went down. He started wailing. What a power. Then Browne tries to take him down, but it backfires. So Lewis hands on top in half guard. Browne tries to get up, but he gets just thrown on the ground like pizza dough by thing. Yamazaki, by the way, stopped the fight too late. We were counting
punches. 8 too punches. Many.
And
at least 8 too many.
And not simple 8 punches.
Stapling
he
them.
can
Stapling them.
Lewis
this
has
is a heavyweight fight.
Power.
Mr. Yamasaki.
Scary stuff.
Knocked out Travis Browne in round 2, and then in the interview, and I was joking, but I wasn't, because I'm serious. In round 2, he said he was holding his belly because he had to go number 2. He had to take a crap. And then he proceeded to, punch the crap out of Browne before Yamasaki, who, was crap as a referee in that instance, came and finally saved Travis Browne. So the Beast, doing his thing, a blue-collar brawler who was making waves in the heavyweight division. Now, the new owners of the UFC making waves, not all of them positive with the fighting fraternity. The latest, Brandon Gibson, one of the top trainers in the sport, he tweeted that the UFC no longer making fight tape available to coaches and fighters. Instead, UFC's telling them to use Fight Pass, which of course is their subscription service, which means the fighters and the coaches have to, you would think, I never get a chance to watch.
Deductible.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. So, but still, it's kind of weird, man, that they're really making a lot
you would think
of
you get
changes,
a code.
bro. A lot of changes. Yep. And so, we'll have to wait and see what other changes are afoot.